Dilip, sometimes people need to understand something that's new with an analogy. So, as an example, if I'm understanding this and there are multiple chillers in an array for a particular size building, if I used a wheelbarrow as an example, I could hold at my wheelbarrow 50 pounds of mulch. If I brought a friend over that had a wheelbarrow, and that would hold also 50. Maybe my wife says, Charlie, we need to move 75 pounds of mulch. Well, if I loaded mine to 50 pounds, which is capacity, and the other only had 25, I'm working harder, and the other wheelbarrow driver is doing less work. Now, if I'm hearing it right, and correct me if this is one of the aspects of what OEM can do with the ECORE, would you balance the load between the wheelbarrows? Is that something that's relevant, or is that kind of a stretch?
No, the balancing the loads is in fact one of the things we do. But the most important thing to understand here is that chillers, the chiller compressors, unlike motors and pumps, do not operate most efficiently at full load. Okay. So if you have a motor, its maximum efficiency is when it's running at 100% load, even 101, 102% of the load. Similar with pumps. But with chillers, the efficiency curves are quite different. They do not operate most efficiently at maximum loads. They operate most efficiently at somewhere between, say, 50 or 75%, 50 to 75% of the load. So part loading the chiller makes it more efficient. And what we do is, since most chiller systems have multiple chillers, and they always have a backup chiller, even if it's a single chiller system, that we allocate the loads to the multiple chillers in such a way that we're taking advantage of the chiller efficiency curves and trying to optimize the entire chiller system by operating the 2 chillers or 3 chillers at their best operating conditions.
So in that analogy of the wheelbarrows, if there was a third wheelbarrow on the job site, instead of Charlie has 50 pounds and the next guy has 25 with 0 in the other, you might spread out 25 pounds per unit in effect.
If all of you had efficiencies in such a way that 50 pounds are less efficient than at 25 pounds.
Oh, so you're understanding what the efficiency, by reading the specs, understanding the deep dive.
We have the manufacturer specifications for efficiencies as well as the properties of all the refrigerants programmed into our algorithm.
And just to jump on this a little further, is the typical building that would have, say, 3 or more chillers going to load typically the first one to capacity and then have overflow, or how are they typically set up?
Well, I can't speak for the operators, but my understanding is that the operator will first load up the first chiller until it reaches a capacity, and then if the load is greater than that, he'll load the second chiller, and so on. Partly because the operators feel that by bringing a second chiller on, they have to also bring on a pump and a fan with it, and therefore there's some additional energy consumption. But what they fail to realize is that the additional consumption of a pump or a fan is a lot less than the efficiency improvement by bringing the second chiller on part load. And by running 2 chillers at part load, you're better off than running 1 chiller full load and the other one at 0.